Lin Jing, holding the supreme Grey Dao artifact, the Ling Yin flawless sword, was immediately dumbfounded with astonishment. Previously, Tian True Monarch had said that the Ling Yin flawless sword could, at best, be between a mid-Grey Dao artifact and a superior Dao artifact. Yet, who would have thought that, after Tian True Monarch truly forged it, he unexpectedly created a supreme Grey Dao artifact, which greatly exceeded Lin Jing's expectations. And moreover, Lin Jing also knew that with the materials he provided himself, they simply weren't enough to upgrade the Ling Yin flawless sword to the level of a supreme Grey Dao artifact. Thus, the only possibility was that Tian True Monarch had added more advanced materials, which enabled the Ling Yin flawless sword to be forged into a supreme Grey Dao artifact. Lin Jing, holding the Ling Yin flawless sword, carefully examined it before raising his head to Tian True Monarch and saying, "Tian Dao you this. I know that with the materials I provided, it definitely wouldn't be possible to enhance the Ling Yin flawless sword to the level of a supreme Grey Dao artifact. You must have added other precious materials into it, materials that are certainly quite valuable." Having said this, Lin Jing looked toward Tian True Monarch and spoke again. "Tian Dao you. By doing this, I'm afraid you have something in mind that you want my assistance with, right?" Upon hearing this, Tian True Monarch did not conceal anything and directly responded. "In the process of reforging this flying sword for you, besides the 2 materials provided by Lin Dao you, I indeed added 2 other rare materials. However, these materials were not provided by me. Instead, they were provided by old Yin Dao you." Lin Jing, puzzled, turned to look at Yin Ming beside him. Tian True Monarch nodded and continued. "Old Yin, he needs your help with something." At this time, Yin Ming also hurriedly clasped his fists and said, "Lin Dao you, I have a favor to ask and hope that Lin Dao you can grant it." Lin Jing also clasped his fists in response. "Yin Dao you are too polite. Just say the word, and if I can be of help, I will do my best to assist. But may I ask what it is you wish for my help with?" At this, Tian True Monarch interjected. "Alchemy. Alchemy." Lin Jing became confused. "If you need help with alchemy, Yin Dao you only needs to ask, and I will naturally lend a hand." As he spoke, Lin Jing looked at the Ling Yin flawless sword in his hand and said, "Why would he need to go to such lengths as Yang Dao you has?" Indeed, in Lin Jing's opinion, given his relationship with Yin Xing and Yin Yu, even if Yin Ming required alchemy, Lin Jing would not normally refuse. Besides, Yin Ming was the island master of Spirit Rock Island, and Spirit Rock Island possessed many rare high-grade spiritual plants. He himself might need to obtain some rare spiritual plants from Spirit Rock Island at any time. Therefore, Lin Jing was also keen to maintain good relations with Yin Ming and Spirit Rock Island. But Yin Ming came forth providing a great surprise right away, directly supplying materials to upgrade the Ling Yin flawless sword to the level of a supreme Grey Dao artifact. In doing so, Lin Jing involuntarily owed Yin Ming a huge favor, and if Yin Ming then made some requests, Lin Jing would find it difficult to refuse. Moreover, once bound by such a big favor, Lin Jing would always feel indebted, which was inconsistent with his nature. He would certainly find a way to repay the debt. Originally, Lin Jing had thought that Yin Ming had done so because there was some difficult matter to handle, but it turned out to be just alchemy. Clearly, what Lin Jing was expected to offer did not compare to what Yin Ming had provided. It was unreasonable. Following this, Lin Jing reflected for a moment before he said, "Yin Dao you doing this? Could it be that the elixir furnace medicine he wants to craft is not easy to make?" Yin Ming nodded and said, "Indeed, it is so." Lin Jing inwardly nodded, knowing it must be for this reason that Yin Ming was willing to make such a big sacrifice from the start. His purpose was to make it difficult for Lin Jing to refuse. Then Lin Jing continued to ask, "May I know what kind of elixir medicine Yin Dao you wants my help in crafting?" Yin Ming looked at Lin Jing and said, "Cleansing spirit elixir, and at the very least, it has to be of supreme grade or above. Crafting the cleansing spirit elixir is not easy, and the higher the quality, the harder it is to achieve. Hence, to acquire at least a supreme grade cleansing spirit elixir, crafting just one batch might not suffice. At least several batches, or even more than a dozen, might be necessary to have the chance of obtaining one. Moreover, the supreme grade cleansing spirit elixirs I need are not just one, but two. After hearing Yin Ming's words, Lin Jing suddenly had a flash of understanding. Yin Daoyu, is this for Yin Xing and Yin Yu? Yin Ming nodded and said, Xinger and Yuer's talents are simply too poor. If I, as their father, do not do something for them, then it's very likely they will only reach the golden core stage in this lifetime. A cultivator at the golden core stage has a lifespan of only 500 years, and I'm already over 300 years old. If I just let things be, it's very possible I will face the tragedy of an elder burying the young. That's why I sought out Lin Daoyu. As long as their spiritual root talents can be further enhanced with the foundation of our Spirit Rock Island, we can push the two of them to the nascent soul stage. As for whether they can continue to improve beyond the nascent soul stage, that will depend on their own fortunes. As a father, this is all that I can do. I hope Lin Daoyu can understand. Lin Jing looked at Yin Ming and couldn't help but clasp his fist and say, Yin Daoyu, for the sake of your daughters, has gone to such lengths, which truly fills me with deep respect. Leave the matter of alchemy to me. This statement came sincerely from Lin Jing's heart. After all, how much would Spirit Rock Island have to sacrifice for Yin Ming's decision? The cleansing spirit elixir, as a 5th-rank elixir medicine, has materials that are already highly valuable in themselves. Then there's the cleansing spirit liquid, which is even rarer and commands an exorbitant price. Moreover, crafting the cleansing spirit elixir is not guaranteed success with just one batch. Even if the cleansing spirit elixir is crafted, it doesn't mean the enhancement will surely be successful. Different grades of the cleansing spirit elixir contain different effects, meaning the probability of enhancing the spiritual root talent also varies. For example, taking a low-grade cleansing spirit elixir only has a 10% chance of improving one's spiritual root. Meanwhile, a medium-grade cleansing spirit elixir has a 20% chance of enhancement. A superior cleansing spirit elixir is much better, offering a 50% chance of raising the spiritual root talent by 1 grade. And then there's the supreme grade, probably the highest. It has an 80% chance of upgrading one's own spiritual root talent by 1 grade. Of course, this is under the condition that no pure elixir is available. If it were a pure cleansing spirit elixir, then the chance is 100%, guaranteeing successful enhancement upon consumption. However, compared to other elixir medicines, crafting the cleansing spirit elixir is somewhat more challenging, and it is also hard to ensure its quality. And furthermore, the cleansing spirit elixir is different from other elixir medicines, as each person can only consume one in their lifetime. Of course, unless you have a pure cleansing spirit elixir. Even if you fail to enhance your spiritual root with other qualities of cleansing spirit elixir, you can still remedy it with a pure cleansing spirit elixir. But even with the pure cleansing spirit elixir, it can only enhance once. After a successful enhancement of one's talents, taking another pure cleansing spirit elixir will have no effect whatsoever. However, concocting the cleansing spirit elixir is not easy to begin with, let alone the pure elixir medicine, which is even more unimaginable. Therefore, Yin Ming requested Lin Jing to refine at least a top-grade quality cleansing spirit elixir. If so, I shall entrust this to Lin Daoyu, Yin Ming said with a fist salute. Lin Jing waved his hand quickly, saying, You're too courteous, Daoyu. Having said that, Lin Jing continued to ask, I just wonder, how many spirit plants for concocting the cleansing spirit elixir has Yin Daoyu collected? Yin Ming then spoke. Actually, ever since their birth, I have been looking for some spiritual treasure elixir that can enhance the quality of the spiritual root. During that time, I also collected a few drops of cleansing spirit liquid. However, after they each consumed it, although there were some improvements, it was still far from enhancing their spiritual roots. With no other choice, I had to search again for other heavenly materials and earthly treasures that could enhance the quality of their spiritual roots. I even inquired about the legendary contrary fate fruit, but there was no news at all. It wasn't until an auction over a decade ago that I learned such an elixir medicine called the cleansing spirit elixir was circulating among the top powers of the inner sea. At this point, Ming said somewhat sheepishly, "I do not wish to deceive Lin Daoyu, the friend I mentioned earlier who had obtained a fragmentary cleansing spirit elixir recipe. In fact, it wasn't any friend, but myself. I won that partial cleansing spirit elixir recipe at the auction, and since then, I have begun collecting materials for it. Up to now, aside from a few drops of cleansing spirit liquid, only 2 drops remain. I only lack 1 main spirit plant to gather a full set of ingredients for the cleansing spirit elixir." After hearing this, Lin Jing was extremely surprised. He hadn't expected Ming to have collected so much already, so Lin Jing asked, "May I know which spirit plant Daoyu is still missing?" After pondering for a moment, Ming replied, "The accompanying spirit grass of the cleansing spirit liquid, the white jade cleansing spirit grass. The white jade cleansing spirit grass, as white as jade, resembles common weeds and is very easy to identify. The white jade cleansing spirit grass requires extremely harsh conditions for growth, only growing beside long-established spiritual springs. For example, the spiritual spring in the demon race secret realm that we encountered earlier had only a small cupful of cleansing spirit liquid, nowhere near enough to sustain the white jade cleansing spirit grass. Therefore, there was no growth of the white jade cleansing spirit grass beside that cleansing spirit pool. To collect the white jade cleansing spirit grass, one must find a spiritual spring of older vintage with a greater abundance of cleansing spirit liquid. Such stringent conditions naturally make it hard to find." Lin Jing then fell into deep thought. After a moment, he spoke, "White jade cleansing spirit grass is indeed difficult to find. We must first locate a spiritual spring before there's any chance of finding the white jade cleansing spirit grass." Ming also frowned and said, "Indeed, nowadays, let alone an ancient spiritual spring, even a tiny cleansing spirit pool is hard to come by, not to mention the white jade cleansing spirit grass." At that point, Lin Jing suddenly looked at Ming and said, "Speaking of the cleansing spirit pool, I happen to know of a place that possesses one." Upon hearing this, Ming immediately looked up at Lin Jing, asking with a look of surprise, "Lin Daoyu knows the location of a cleansing spirit pool?" Lin Jing nodded and replied, "Yes. It's just that we probably can't enter that place now." "We can't enter? Secret realm or relic? Could it be a special relic in a closed state?" Lin Jing shook his head and said, "It's not a relic, but a secret realm. In the Nanzhou underworld, there is a demon race secret realm with a cleansing spirit pool inside. However, that cleansing spirit pool is likely occupied by the Howling Sky Wolf clan right now. We simply can't get past." The Howling Sky Wolf clan. Ming furrowed his brows, sinking into deep thought. After a moment, Ming spoke. "I am aware that there have indeed been some issues in the Nanzhou underworld, and that the instigator is the Howling Sky Wolf clan." Lin Jing nodded and said, "That's right. It was through that secret realm that the Howling Sky Wolf clan entered the Nanzhou underworld. The cleansing spirit pool I spoke of is within that secret realm. However, there is not much cleansing spirit liquid in that secret realm. It likely doesn't have the white jade cleansing spirit grass that you're looking for." Lin Jing's words drew Ming into contemplation. After a while, having finished his thoughts, Ming spoke. "What Lin Daoyu has said should be correct. If it were indeed an ancient cleansing spiritual spring that has accumulated over time, it definitely wouldn't have been kept secret. It would only be those cleansing spirit pools, not ancient and without much accumulated cleansing spirit liquid, that would not become well known. I'm afraid that as soon as that cleansing spirit liquid was discovered, it was completely divided up." After hearing this, Lin Jing nodded. The Howling Sky Wolf clan had seized the cleansing spirit pool, but it was unknown if they would protect it like the three major sects did. But even if they protected it, what then? There was just a pitcher's worth of cleansing spirit liquid, possibly not even 100 drops, nowhere near enough to share. Lin Jing remembered very clearly that he himself had continuously used the cleansing spirit liquid for over a month, at least 1 drop every day, sometimes several drops in a day. Even so, it took Lin Jing more than a month to enhance his natural talent. By that account, Lin Jing had consumed at least dozens of drops of cleansing spirit liquid to improve his aptitude. Even his enhancement was so difficult. If the Howling Sky Wolf clan encountered others who wanted to enhance their abilities, wouldn't it mean at most 1 or 2 people could be improved before the cleansing spirit liquid was exhausted? In that case, how could it have become known? At this moment, Yilin spoke. The current situation in the Nanzhou underworld is not good to involve ourselves in. It's said that the Nanzhou underworld has already lost 90% of its control, with less than 10% still under the command of the 3 major sects. Even this is under the circumstance where the Howling Sky Wolf clan has not fully mobilized. If the Howling Sky Wolf clan were to mobilize their entire clan, I estimate the 3 major sects of the Nanzhou underworld would have long been obliterated. Hearing this, Lin Jing asked Yin Dao Yu, is the Howling Sky Wolf clan really that powerful? Yin nodded and replied, the Howling Sky Wolf clan is also among the top 5 demon cultivator clans in the Western Demon region. If they were to fully mobilize, erasing all the human cultivators in the Nanzhou underworld would be effortless. The current stalemate exists mainly because they're still facing pressure from the human cultivators from the Western Demon region. That's why the Howling Sky Wolf clan dares not expend too much effort in the Nanzhou underworld. The cultivation world of the Western Demon region. Lin Jing asked in confusion. Yin nodded and said, yes, the Western Demon region is far from peaceful. For countless years, human cultivators have been engaged in endless struggles with demon cultivators, which has resulted in the current balance of power. Now, in the Western Demon region, the power of human and demon races has almost reached a balance. If the Howling Sky Wolf clan, one of the top 5 in the demon race, were to suddenly deploy their battle force to the southern nether domain, it's very likely that cultivators from the Western Demon region would notice. If that happens, the delicate balance between the 2 sides will be broken, and it will have a huge impact on the demon race of the entire Western Demon region. Therefore, the Howling Sky Wolf clan wouldn't dare to make such a move lightly. Afterwards, Lin Jing frowned and said, even so, the southern nether domain still can't withstand the invasion of the Howling Sky Wolf clan. Yin nodded and couldn't help but sigh. Indeed, since the catastrophe 1,000,000 years ago, the entire southern nether domain has been almost completely devastated, and the surviving human cultivators have nearly lost their lineage. What's worse, the spiritual energy of the entire southern nether domain became extremely scarce after the disaster. It's simply not suitable for cultivators to live anymore. At this point, Yin spoke with some indignation. If not for that, how could the southern nether domain have fallen to such a degree to be bullied by the likes of a minor Howling Sky Wolf clan? At this moment, Ming also spoke up. I have learned from some ancient texts that the southern nether domain used to be very powerful, the strongest among the 4 domains. One could even say that it teamed with divinity transformation experts everywhere. If it were the southern nether domain before the catastrophe, perhaps any faction of cultivators could eradicate the entire Howling Sky Wolf clan with ease. Yin nodded and said, there's a saying, prosperity leads to decline. No power in this world can prosper forever. Just like the once far-famed Lin family from the ancient alchemy path within our demonic monster sea. They too faced a sudden divine punishment at their peak, causing the entire family to go from prosperity to extinction within 10,000 years. Perhaps it is because the southern nether domain was too prosperous that it invited this disaster. After hearing this, Lin Jing also fell silent. Seeing that the atmosphere had become somewhat silent, Yinjinjuan hurriedly spoke again. However, there's no need to worry about the affairs of the southern nether domain. The matter of the Howling Sky Wolf clan's invasion of the southern nether domain should have already been reported to the Western Demon region by now, unless something unexpected happened. I estimate that the Western Demon region will take action soon. By then, once the cultivators from the Western Demon region drive out the wolf pups of the Howling Sky Wolf clan from the southern nether domain, perhaps the secret realm you mentioned, Lin Daoyu, will open again, and then we can go and see if there are other spiritual springs in the secret realm. Since there are conditions for the formation of spiritual springs there, maybe there are other spiritual springs in other places within that secret realm. After hearing this, Lin Jing nodded and said, "There's indeed such a possibility. Before, many places in that demon race secret realm occupied by the Howling Sky Wolf clan were still unexplored." On hearing this, Ming immediately perked up and hastily asked Lin Jing, "Lin Daoyu, are you telling the truth?" Lin Jing nodded and replied, "Of course. I wonder, Lin Daoyu, how come you're so well informed?" Ming looked at Lin Jing with puzzlement and asked. Lin Jing was silent for a moment before he spoke. "To be truthful with the two of you, I was originally from the underworld of the southern continent. It was only after the Howling Sky Wolf clan invaded the underworld of the southern continent that by a stroke of luck, I arrived in the Thousand Islands domain. So that's how it is." After Ming and Yin master finished speaking, they didn't dwell on the topic any longer. Afterwards, the two of them then discussed with Lin Jing about the matter of the cleansing spirit elixir. Through negotiation, Lin Jing even obtained Ming's permission to go to Spirit Rock Island at any time to retrieve the materials for refining the cleansing spirit elixir. When Lin Jing learned that those spirit plants were all planted by Ming in the spirit field on Spirit Rock Island, he specifically told Ming that he might take some extra roots, stems, and seeds of the spirit plants. Ming, knowing that Lin Jing had a spirit field on Liyan Island, didn't mind and agreed to Lin Jing's request. Of course, Lin Jing's intent was to collect these spirit plants needed for the cleansing spirit elixir into his system space. In this way, he wouldn't have to bother with searching for spirit plants everywhere himself. Moreover, Lin Jing already had a cleansing spiritual spring within the system space. He could plant the other spirit plants in the system space where he could ripen them at any time. Eventually, with his own cleansing spirit liquid and other materials, he would only need a stalk of white jade cleansing spirit grass to be able to refine the cleansing spirit elixir. Lastly, the two also discussed the matter of the cleansing spirit liquid. From the conversation just now, Lin Jing learned that Ming had 2 drops of cleansing spirit liquid, but due to its nature, once removed from the cleansing spirit pool, it would evaporate very quickly. Since Ming had obtained the cleansing spirit liquid, he must have a method of preservation. So Lin Jing asked once more about this preservation method. As a result, Ming directly gave Lin Jing a very inconspicuous bead, only the size of an ordinary prayer bead. It was called a spirit-storing bead. Though the spirit-storing bead seemed insignificant, it was made of special materials and refined by a master of artifact refining. The bead itself amounted to a treasure-grade spatial treasure. It is called a treasure, but it cannot be used against enemies. Moreover, its internal space is pitifully small. The only purpose it serves is to prevent the cleansing spirit liquid inside from evaporating. During alchemy, you can put the bead filled with cleansing spirit liquid into the pill furnace and then open it at the appropriate time. That's how the cleansing spirit elixir can be refined. Of course, you can still refine the elixir without this spirit-storing bead if your cultivation has surpassed divinity transformation, and you can use your soul spirit to envelop the cleansing spirit liquid for the alchemy process. Or you could use a spatial treasure similar to this bead. After obtaining the spirit-storing bead, Lin Jing didn't stand on ceremony and immediately took it for himself. When Lin Jing put away the spirit-storing bead, a sweep of his divine sense also detected a gray robe. With a thought, Lin Jing took the gray robe out from his space ring. This gray robe was the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe he had obtained from the puppet guild leader. Back then, Lin Jing was very pleased with the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe for its incredibly powerful effect. However, because it had been blood-refined by the puppet guild leader, Lin Jing had been unable to use it, so it had remained in his space ring. Now, with Master Tian present, maybe he had a way to solve this problem. Therefore, Lin Jing took out the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe, intending to show it to Tian Master. After taking out the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe, Lin Jing directly addressed the True Flame Monarch. True Flame Daoyu. I have a Taoist artifact here that I obtained from my enemy. However, this Taoist artifact has been subjected to his blood refinement, and I have been unable to refine and claim it as my own. I wonder if you, True Flame Daoyu, might have another method? After hearing this, the True Flame Monarch reached out to Lin Jing and said, "Come, let me take a look." All right, Lin Jing then directly handed over the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe to the True Flame Monarch. Upon receiving the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe, the True Flame Monarch took a careful and thorough look at it. Afterward, he used spiritual power and divine sense separately to probe it. It wasn't until a good while later that the True Flame Monarch finally spoke to Lin Jing. "I presume your enemy has long since met with death." Lin Jing nodded and said, "Yes." The True Flame Monarch lightly nodded before continuing. Normally, magical treasures subjected to blood refinement are nurtured with the cultivator's essence blood from the very beginning of their forging. Such nurtured treasures slowly develop a spirit and become increasingly bonded with their owner. Magical treasures created this way have many advantages, but the downside is also clear. Once the owner dies, the magical treasure can no longer be left behind. However, this robe wasn't nurtured using the blood refinement method from the moment it was forged. It's very likely that your enemy obtained it from somewhere else. Only after acquiring it did he refine it using the blood refinement method. So that's how it is. With the True Flame Monarch's explanation, Lin Jing suddenly understood the situation. Lin Jing then continued to ask, "Can this robe have the previous owner's blood refinement method removed so I can refine and claim it?" The True Flame Monarch nodded and said, "Of course. If this were his life-bound magical treasure nurtured through his own blood refinement method, then indeed, for the time being, I wouldn't have a good solution. But this robe was merely nurtured by the blood refinement method and is not his life-bound magical treasure. I do have a method to cleanse the remnants of the blood refinement method left on it. Leave this robe with me. In a few days, I'll be able to remove the remnants of the blood refinement method left on it. At that time, you, Lin Daoyu, will be able to refine and use it anew. In that case, I thank you greatly, Daoyu." Lin Jing quickly said, cupping his fists in gratitude. "No need for such courtesy, Lin Daoyu." The True Flame Monarch also returned the gesture with cupped fists. Following that, Ming and the True Flame Monarch stayed on Liyan Island for several more days. It wasn't until several days later, after the True Flame Monarch had removed the blood refinement method from the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe and handed it over to Lin Jing, that the two of them left Liyan Island. This time upon leaving, Lin Jing also went with the two of them to Spirit Rock Island. Naturally, the visit to Spirit Rock Island was for the purpose of obtaining spirit plants required for crafting cleansing spirit elixirs. Only after obtaining the other spirit plants needed for the crafting spirit elixir from Liyan Island did Lin Jing return there. Upon his return to Liyan Island, Lin Jing resumed his reclusion in his small courtyard for alchemy. Time swiftly passed, and soon another month went by. The Power Division Conference, as mentioned by Yilin, was about to commence. In fact, a month prior, the Power Division Conference had already been a hot topic of conversation. As it affected all of the cultivators in the Thousand Islands domain, the cultivators there paid it great attention. As for those other low-ranking cultivators below the Golden Core stage, it did not matter much to them. No matter how the Thousand Islands domain changed, they could not resist and could only endure in silence. After all, if they left the Thousand Islands domain, they would have nowhere else to go. Fortunately, no matter the changes, this division of power meeting would not affect these individuals. The ones most affected were naturally the golden core stage island masters of the other small islands. Originally, they each, or in groups of 2 or 3, occupied an island and lived comfortably. But with this change, it was as if there was now another manager above them on their island. And this manager was a nascent soul cultivator, making it impossible for them to even think about resisting. Of course, they would not dare to resist because this was news that came from within the 3 major islands. In the 1,000 Islands domain, no one dared to defy the commands of the 3 major islands. Otherwise, even if they wanted to flee, they could not. When this order first surfaced, due to the absence of certification by the island masters of the 3 major islands, people were skeptical and adopted a wait-and-see attitude. It was only when the event caused a great uproar and the division of power meeting was about to commence that the island master of Tian Island, by E, stepped forward to confirm the news. After receiving definite news, some island masters who cherished freedom and disliked being managed simply left the 1,000 Islands domain. Their departure was just a prelude. After all, they were only a very small portion, and most people were unwilling to leave the 1,000 Islands domain. Following their departure, some other cultivators immediately took over their islands. Regarding these matters, everyone was well aware that this was bound to happen. Therefore, no one from the 3 major islands stepped forward, and things were just tacitly accepted as they happened. Apart from that, there was Zhang Jian. Previously, Lin Jing had inadvertently revealed this information to Zhang Jian in a casual chat. However, since the news had not been released at that time, although Zhang Jian had learned about it, he was not overly alarmed. Until the news spread later. People began to speculate about the intentions of the 3 major islands, and suddenly rumors were flying all over. Some said that the 3 major islands controlling the various islands were planning on dominating the entire 1,000 Islands domain to prepare for war with other sea domains. Others said that this was a way for the 3 major islands to centralize resources from each island for their own use. Some of the most exaggerated rumors even claimed that the 3 major islands were doing this to set up a grand formation that would envelop the entire 1,000 Islands domain, and then sacrifice all living beings of the 1,000 Islands domain. Afterwards, through that sacrifice, the island masters of the 3 major islands would ascend. And so on and so forth. A multitude of rumors left many people uncertain. Even Zhang Jian was puzzled. So Zhang Jian hurriedly came to ask Lin Jing what exactly was going on. Regarding this matter, Lin Jing did not know much either and could not provide Zhang Jian with an answer. He would only understand clearly after attending the Division of Powers meeting. However, regarding those rumors circulating outside, Lin Jing did not believe them. This was, after all, the 1,000 Islands domain, thousands of islands, and countless living beings resided here. How could it be so easily sacrificed at someone's whim? As for the rumors, Lin Jing paid them no mind and continued making his elixir medicine. Until this day, someone came to Liyan Island, inviting Lin Jing to go to Tian Island for the meeting regarding the division of regional authority. The person who came looking for Lin Jing was none other than Shui Yilin. When Lin Jing saw Shui Yilin, he was still the same as before, all smiles and appearing completely harmless to humans and animals. But Lin Jing knew that although this man always wore a smile, he was very decisive. Moreover, his methods were ruthless, not to be underestimated. Then, Lin Jing stepped forward, cupped his fists toward Shui Yilin, and said, "Shui Daoyu, with the Regional Power Division Conference about to start, what leisure brings you to my Liyan Island?" Shui Yilin also cupped his fists with a smile and replied, "Isn't it that I have some tasks to carry out, and just so happen to pass by Lin Daoyu's Liyan Island? So I came to invite Lin Daoyu, planning to go together to Tian Island. This time to find Lin Daoyu, I didn't send a message in advance. I hope Daoyu doesn't mind." Lin Jing then spoke. "It doesn't matter. Shui Daoyu thinks too much. I was also about to set off to Tian Island. Now that Shui Daoyu is here, it's perfect for us to go together." Upon hearing this, Shui Yilin said with a smile, "In that case, shall we depart now, Lin Daoyu?" Lin Jing nodded and said, Good. Seeing Lin Jing agree, Shui Yilin hurriedly summoned his own flying boat, then said to Lin Jing, Lin Daoyu, the journey is long. Why not ride on my flying boat? Lin Jing hesitated for a moment. Although this Shui Yilin was unpredictable and ruthless, Lin Jing had no conflict with this person, nor would he suddenly act against him. From their encounter 2 months ago to this reunion, Shui Yilin had never shown hostility towards him. More so, he seemed to intentionally get close to him. Lin Jing didn't know why, but he suspected it must be for some purpose. Traveling together, Lin Jing could also probe further along the way. With this in mind, Lin Jing nodded in agreement to Shui Yilin's request. Even if Shui Yilin had any hostility towards him, Lin Jing was not afraid of this man. Although Lin Jing was only at the early nascent soul stage of cultivation, if it really came to a fight, he felt that he was not necessarily this man's match. Especially now, with the Ling Jing flawless sword upgraded to an exceptional magical treasure. Therefore, facing this man's invitation, Lin Jing did not refuse and directly boarded the flying boat. After both men had boarded the flying boat, Shui Yilin directly controlled the flying boat, and with his swoosh, they shot forth. This man's flying boat was no ordinary item. Though it wasn't as good as Lin Jing's shadow escape flying boat, its speed was still much faster than other flying boats. The flying boat rapidly traveled through the sky above the Thousand Islands domain, and Lin Jing started to chat casually with Shui Yilin. Halfway through the journey, Shui Yilin suddenly changed direction and flew towards another destination. Lin Jing's brows immediately furrowed, not understanding what Shui Yilin was intending. However, before Lin Jing could ask, Shui Yilin explained with a smile. Lin Daoyu, I still have a task on my hands. I hope for a bit of delay, and I hope Lin Daoyu doesn't mind. Hearing Shui Yilin's explanation, Lin Jing's brows relaxed as he said, What is the task that requires Shui Daoyu to make this trip before the start of the Regional Power Division Conference? Shui Yilin narrowed his eyes and then said, Surely Lin Daoyu is aware of the recent rumors spreading around, right? Lin Jing nodded and said, Indeed, I have heard quite a few. However, these rumors are nothing more than wild guesses by some, causing no significant upheaval, so I didn't pay much attention to them. Shui Yilin then shook his head and said, Lin Daoyu, if you think that way, then you're mistaken. Oh, Lin Jing asked, puzzled. Is there something more to it that's hidden? Shui Yilin nodded and replied, Of course. The reason these rumors are spreading is that someone is taking advantage of this moment to stir up trouble with the aim of harming the 3 great islands. Lin Jing exclaimed in surprise. Someone wants to harm the 3 great islands? In the Thousand Islands domain, who would have the audacity? Having said that, Lin Jing expressed his doubts. But even if that's true, inciting these lower-level cultivators, what's the use? Could he really believe that with these lower-level cultivators, he could overthrow the 3 great islands? Isn't that a bit too fanciful? Shui Yilin's eyes narrowed, and then he said, Naturally, it's not that simple. These lower-level cultivators, no matter what rumors they spread, can't shake the foundation of the 3 great islands. It's just that someone wants to take advantage of this matter to stir up trouble during the Regional Power Division meeting. Upon hearing this, Lin Jing was even more confused. How does this matter relate to the Regional Division meeting? Shui Yilin then chuckled lightly and said, You will understand once we get to Tian Island. After saying that, Shui Yilin looked ahead at an island and said, All right, I have reached my destination. Lin Daoyu, please wait a moment. I'll be right back. As he spoke, Shui Yilin left the flying boat and flew towards the island ahead. The island in front, much larger than Lian Island, was openly approached by Shui Yilin without concealing his aura. When Shui Yilin arrived at the island, 2 golden core peak cultivators immediately attacked him with their magical treasures. Neither side spoke as they met. The 2 golden core peak cultivators started off with full force. Shui Yilin, unambiguously, brought out an ancient green bronze furnace and placed it above their heads. As Shui Yilin instigated the green bronze furnace, several streams formed by black mist emerged as skeletal skulls, attacking the two golden core cultivators. Immediately after, a fierce battle began. Black mist-formed skeletal skulls wailed ceaselessly, while the two golden core peak cultivators summoned various magical treasures, with countless dazzling lights changing the color of the sky. However, the two golden core peak cultivators, despite their uncommon abilities, were no match for Shui Yilin. In no time, they were slain by Shui Yilin. Even more, Shui Yilin decapitated both men, taking their heads with him. After killing them, Shui Yilin even controlled the black skull heads to descend towards the town below, flying toward the most magnificent building in the middle of the town. En route, the black skull heads ignored any evasion and burst through the city directly towards the building. Wherever the black skull heads passed, whether it were cultivators or some ordinary people, they couldn't last a single breath and all fell to the ground. Even their deaths were ghastly. The entire person turned into a dried corpse. Clearly, their life force was absorbed in an instant by the black skull heads, which is why it happened like this. Lin Jing witnessed this scene and merely frowned slightly, but he didn't step in to stop it. After all, these people had nothing to do with him, and he didn't need to risk his neck for them. Besides, considering that Shui Yilin, a cultivator from Tian Island, was here on a mission, this affair was definitely related to the island master of Tian Island. It wasn't time for him to act rashly. However, Shui Yilin did not embark on a large-scale massacre after reaching the front of that magnificent building. Instead, those black skeletons directly destroyed the building. After the destruction, a red teleportation array was revealed. A teleportation array Lin Jing was quite familiar with. Seeing the red teleportation array, Lin Jing's brows immediately furrowed, because the array was exactly the same as the one that had teleported him to the devouring spirit blood realm before. Even the aura emanating from the formation was one that Lin Jing found familiar. It was indeed the aura of the devouring spirit blood realm. Could it be that the two golden core peak cultivators he had just seen were connected to that mysterious divine transformation cultivator? While Lin Jing was deep in thought, Shui Yilin had already commanded the black skull head to charge at the formation. Unable to bear the load, the formation exploded with a boom. After destroying the teleportation array, Shui Yilin scanned the area and, seeing no significant oversight, flew back. Not until Shui Yilin had departed did the cultivators and mortals within the city below cautiously come out to survey the situation. Once back on the flying boat, Shui Yilin once again donned his signature smile and said to Lin Jing, "Lin Daoyu, my task is now complete. We can set out for Tian Island. I know you must have many questions at this moment, Lin Daoyu. Once we are on Tian Island, I will explain everything to you." After hearing this, Lin Jing nodded and responded, "All right." Having said that, the two boarded the flying boat and continued their journey toward Tian Island. Thus, the pair traveled on the flying boat until they reached Tian Island. This was Lin Jing's first time visiting Tian Island. As one of the three major islands in the Thousand Islands domain, the size of Tian Island was indeed considerable. The island was not only abundant in spiritual energy, but also featured continuous mountain ranges, as well as deserts, grasslands, and other terrains typically found on mainland. With such diverse terrain came an abundance of resources, and Tian Island even contained a small vein of superior-grade spirit stones. For this reason, Tian Island was home to many cultivators, including those at the Foundation establishment and even Golden Core stages. These cultivators were spread across 3 cities on the island. Among them was Tian City, where the successive island masters of Tian Island had resided, and it was also the largest of the cities. The Regional Power Division Conference was to be held within this Tian City. Before they reached Tian Island, Shui Yilin retracted the flying boat and, together with Lin Jing, flew toward Tian City within the island. This was another rule of Tian Island. No one landing on the island may pilot a flying boat. This rule was the same as in Beihai City. Being nascent soul cultivators, both Lin Jing and Shui Yilin were fast, and in less than an hour, they arrived at Tian City. Once they reached Tian City, Shui Yilin said to Lin Jing directly, "Lin Daoyu, follow me." Saying this, he led Lin Jing into Tian City. Tian City was no small place, almost comparable to Beihai City in size. Inside Tian City, much like Beihai City, the streets were lined with shops on both sides, with many cultivators coming and going, a bustling scene of activity. Behind Tian City stood a towering mountain. Atop that mountain was Tian Hall, where the island master of Tian Island, Lord Bai, resided. It was said that Tian Hall was built by the previous island master Li Mingwu. However, after Li Mingwu had vanished, Bai secured the position of island master of Tian Island after a struggle and moved into Tian Hall. Just like that, the two made their way through Tian City and directly arrived at the foot of the mountain where Tian Hall was located. Lin Jing couldn't help but look towards Shui Yilin with a puzzled expression. "Shui Daoyu, the power division meeting for that region shouldn't be held in Tian Hall, should it?" Shui Yilin nodded and said, "Correct. The regional power conference will be held in Tian City. However, I brought you here because Lord Bai wants to see you." "See me?" Lin Jing couldn't help but feel puzzled. "Yes." Shui Yilin nodded. "Lin Daoyu, let's go. Once we go up there, you'll understand." Lin Jing looked up at the summit's Tian Hall and started to ponder to himself. "I'm just an inconspicuous, small island master in the Thousand Islands domain, usually not showing off or standing out. Why would the island master of Tian Island want to find me? Unless I have some special quality that has caught his attention." Lin Jing thought it over and over, and there was only one possibility. It was the 5 Elements divine art. Previously, he had learned from Jinju that Shui Yilin was looking for someone who cultivated the 5 Elements cultivation technique, and Jinju was even killed by Shui Yilin because of it. And Shui Yilin was indeed a subordinate of Lord Bai from Tian Island. So it was clear it was Lord Bai who was looking for someone who practiced the 5 Elements cultivation technique, and it just so happened that I practiced the 5 Elements divine art. Therefore, Shui Yilin specifically came to find me and take me to meet Lord Bai of Tian Island. However, now that I know their purpose, I can put my mind at ease. At this point, I am already here. There's no escaping it. I can only go up to see what the matter is. After that, Lin Jing nodded and said to Shui Yilin, "Good. Please lead the way, Shui Daoyu." Shui Yilin nodded, then led Lin Jing towards the mountain summit. The two arrived at the entrance, where 2 golden core stage guards stood at the stairs leading to the mountaintop. Upon seeing Shui Yilin, they hurriedly made way and bowed, saying, "Senior Shui." Shui Yilin, expressionless, simply nodded slightly, then swept past them and stepped onto the ascent stairs. And Lin Jing followed behind Shui Yilin, walking upwards as well. The mountain peak on which Tian Hall was built soared into the clouds, and even the stairs they tread upon, leading to the mountain top, were exceptionally magnificent, piercing into the sky. Lin Jing and Shui Yilin did not fly, but walked up just like ordinary people, step by step. This rule had been set by Li Mingwu before. Anyone ascending to Tian Hall must not fly, must not use spells. Otherwise, it would be considered a provocation to the island master of Tian Island, and the offender would be directly killed on the spot. Although a new island master, Lord Bai, had taken over, this rule still had not changed. Lin Jingji was aware of these matters from a conversation with Shui Yilin during their time on the flying boat. However, even though the staircase was long for cultivators like them, it was not a difficult task. Especially since Lin Jing was a body refinement cultivator, climbing these stairs was a breeze for him. Thus, after more than an hour, the two reached the mountain summit. Atop the summit stood the majestic and resplendent Tian Hall. After the two arrived, the massive doors of Tian Hall, towering more than 10 zhang high, slowly began to open. Then, a commanding voice came from within Tian Hall. "You are here, come in together." Following that, Lin Jing walked into Tian Hall together with Shui Yilin. The interior of Tian Hall was equally dignified. At the very back of Tian Hall, there stood a young man around 30 with a handsome face. There was actually something astonishing about this person, his eyes calm, and his gaze piercing as if tangible, directed at Lin Jing and his company. Lin Jing even had the feeling as if this person could see right through him. At this moment, Shui Yilin stepped forward, clasped his hands towards the man, and said, "Island Master, this is Lin Daoyu from Lian Island." By then, Lin Jing knew who the man before him was. He was the current island master of Tian Island, the divine transformation cultivator by E. In the presence of a divinity transformation cultivator, Lin Jing naturally didn't dare to act carelessly. So he also followed Shui Yilin's lead and clasped his hands towards Bai Yi, saying, "I am Lin Jing, and I have had the honor of meeting Lord Bai." Bai Yi looked down at Lin Jing, and then with a smile on his face, he said, "Island Master Lin is far too courteous. I must apologize for not informing you in advance and suddenly requesting your presence. I hope you do not take offense." Lin Jing then spoke, "Lord Bai jests. If Lord Bai has summoned me here, there must certainly be a pressing matter." Bai Yi nodded and said, "Indeed, I have come to seek your help with a certain matter." Shui Yilin, explain it to him. Shui Yilin nodded and said, "Yes, Island Master." Then, turning to Lin Jing, Shui Yilin said, "Lin Daoyu, we would like you to use the 5 elements divine art to help us open a cavern. Moreover, this cavern has something to do with the previous island master of Tian Island, Li Mingwu." "Li Mingwu?" Lin Jing asked, puzzled, and then continued, "Wasn't it said that he had vanished hundreds of years ago and is now presumed dead?" Shui Yilin shook his head and replied, "Previously, we indeed thought that Li Mingwu had died. You must have heard about the incident with the devouring spirit blood realm not too long ago. A mysterious divine transformation cultivator used the devouring spirit blood realm in an attempt to refine 1,000 golden core cultivators to assist his breakthrough and reach beyond the realm of divinity transformation." Lin Jing then looked at Shui Yilin and asked, "Shui Daoyu, are you saying that this mysterious divine transformation cultivator is none other than Li Mingwu?" Shui Yilin nodded and said, "Indeed, as you have guessed, Lin Daoyu, that mysterious cultivator is Li Mingwu." Upon hearing Shui Yilin's confirmation, Lin Jing was utterly shocked. He could hardly believe that the withered old man he had seen through observation mode before was actually Li Mingwu. This was truly beyond belief. Previously, Lin Jing had made specific inquiries from various sources, and the information he got was that Li Mingwu had disappeared when his lifespan was nearing its end. Now, hundreds of years later, it was feared that he had long since turned to dust. Yet, unexpectedly, he was still alive. Afterward, Lin Jing spoke, asking Shui Yilin, "Shui Daoyu, has this been confirmed?" Shui Yilin nodded and said, "Lord Bai had hypothesized that Li Mingwu might have taken the longevity life extension elixir, which is why he has not reached the end of his lifespan after all these years." "The longevity life extension elixir?" Lin Jing asked, puzzled, and then continued, "I have heard of lifespan extension pills, but never the longevity life extension elixir." Shui Yilin spoke. "The longevity life extension elixir is an ancient recipe passed down from antiquity, a 7th-grade elixir medicine that is extremely rare. It is normal that Lin Daoyu has not seen it. The longevity life extension elixir's effect of increasing one's lifespan is tenfold that of the lifespan extension pill. However, now the main ingredient, longevity grass, for crafting the longevity life extension elixir is nearly extinct, and even the recipe itself has been almost lost to time, which is why very few are aware of it." "No wonder," Lin Jing nodded. Additionally, after explaining the longevity life extension elixir to Lin Jing, Shui Yilin continued, "The reason we are certain that the mysterious cultivator in the devouring spirit blood realm is Li Mingwu actually involves another factor." As he spoke, Shui Yilin glanced towards Bai. Seeing this, Bai took out an ancient-looking scroll and threw it to Lin Jing. This scroll was found in a secret vault left by Li Mingwu. It records the evil sacrificial technique he used. You can take a look. Lin Jing caught the ancient-looking scroll and opened it carefully, then began to read intently. After a while, Lin Jing lifted his head, suddenly saying, "So that's how it is." Inside the scroll was the exact sacrificial rite Li Mingwu had used in the devouring spirit blood realm. It required the golden cores of 1,000 golden core cultivators, melted together to craft a single blood elixir, which after consumption could help one break through to a realm above divinity transformation. As for what lay beyond the realm of divinity transformation, the scroll did not specify. Following that, Lin Jing rolled the scroll back up and handed it to Bai Yi. Bai Yi gestured with his hand, and the scroll flew back into his possession. He then continued to speak. From the cultivators who were deceived into the devouring spirit blood realm, I learned that in a bid for self-rescue, they summoned the heavenly tribulation, disrupting Li Mingwu's plan, and Li Mingwu was heavily injured trying to stop the tribulation. Even though he once consumed a longevity life extension elixir, I estimate it was at most of superior quality. After so many years, I suspect he is still on the verge of his life's end. Therefore, Li Mingwu must have thought of using that evil sacrificial technique to attempt a breakthrough in his realm. And now that his plan has failed and he has been injured by the heavenly tribulation, recovery will be extremely difficult. Bai Yi paused for a moment, then continued. To my knowledge, Li Mingwu had previously found an ancient cave hidden away by a great power within the Thousand Islands domain. That cave may contain methods to heal, and Li Mingwu is very likely to head there. Opening that cave requires a person who has cultivated the 5 elements cultivation technique. This is exactly why I asked Shui Yilin to invite you here to help us open that cave. After listening, Lin Jing then asked, "May I know where this cave is located?" Bai Yi shook his head and said, "I don't know. The location of that cave, only Li Mingwu knows." As soon as Bai Yi finished speaking, Shui Yilin addressed Lin Jing. "Lin Daoyu, do you know why there's a regional power division conference this time?" Lin Jing shook his head and then said, "Please enlighten me, Shui Daoyu." Shui Yilin nodded and said, "The division of the 3 major islands territories is actually to set up a surveillance array that can cover the entire Thousand Islands domain to monitor all unusual activities within it. Additionally, it is also to keep an eye on the actions of Li Mingwu. When Li Mingwu attempts to open the cave, it will inevitably cause a special fluctuation in spiritual power. As soon as any such fluctuations arise, they cannot escape the surveillance of the formation. At that time, we will be able to locate that cave through the formation. However, constructing this large formation is quite costly, and at each critical point of the formation, the presence of at least 1 nascent soul cultivator is required to oversee it. Hence, there is this regional power division conference. Tian Island, 1MO Island, and True Dragon Island were the largest in area and also the strongest among the 3 major islands of the Thousand Islands domain. The island master of each of these 3 major islands was a divine transformation cultivator, each with cultivation at least in the late stage of divinity transformation. It was unknown what Li Mingwu had done to provoke the island masters of the 3 islands to join forces against him. If it were said to be due to the matter of the devouring spirit blood realm, Lin Jing was definitely not convinced. While the impact of 1,000 golden cores was significant, it was still not enough to make the island masters of the 3 islands expend such considerable effort to deal with this person. Instead, Lin Jing was more inclined to believe that there was something inside that unidentified cave mansion that the 3 island masters needed. At this moment, Bai Yi opened his mouth with a smile and said to Lin Jing, "Island Master Lin, how have you considered it? Are you willing to help us open that cave mansion? If Island Master Lin helps us open the cave mansion, we will certainly provide you with substantial benefits." Although Bai Yi wore a smile, the aura emanating from him had become more inscrutable than before. Lin Jing knew that if he did not agree, he probably would not be able to get off easily either. Currently, Lin Jing had no choice. However, this was perhaps for the better, although doing so might bring Li Mingwu's animosity. In fact, ever since Lin Jing obtained the Lingyin Yujianju, he was destined to confront Li Mingwu. Additionally, the matter of the devouring spirit blood realm, where Lin Jing caused the heavenly tribulation to descend, seriously injuring him, albeit temporarily hidden from Li Mingwu. Lin Jing was not sure how long he could keep this a secret. At present, although helping to open the cave mansion might attract Li Mingwu's attention sooner, Lin Jing was not afraid, because behind him stood the island masters of the three major islands in the stage of divinity transformation. If Li Mingwu became angry, he would definitely tackle the trouble with those three island masters first. Moreover, was he the only one doing this? Probably not. Lin Jing felt they would certainly find others to help open the cave mansion as well. Therefore, Lin Jing nodded and said, "No problem." Upon receiving Lin Jing's response, Bai Yi nodded slightly, and even the aura around him became much more amiable. "That's very good. At that time, we will trouble Island Master Lin." Lin Jing then spoke up. "Lord Bai, I actually have a question." "Please speak," said Bai Yi. "May I know what this cave mansion is like, and why does it require someone who practices a 5 elements cultivation technique to open it?" Bai Yi looked at Lin Jing and asked, "Island Master Lin, I heard that the 5 elements cultivation technique you practice is the 5 elements divine art, right?" Lin Jing nodded and replied, "Yes." Bai Yi continued to inquire, "May I know where you acquired this 5 elements divine art?" Lin Jing then spoke, "To not conceal anything from Lord Bai, this 5 elements divine art of mine was obtained from an enemy of mine. As for where that enemy acquired it from, I do not know." Bai Yi nodded affirmatively and responded, "Your enemy, if I'm not mistaken, must be someone from the Thousand Islands domain or one who once stayed in the Thousand Islands domain. Because that cave mansion is called the 5 Elements Cave Mansion, and it has a deep connection with the 5 Elements divine art you are practicing." Lin Jing expressed his surprise. "I did not expect my cultivation technique to have such an origin." Bai Yi nodded and said, "To my knowledge, there is another cultivation technique that is compatible with the 5 Elements divine art, which may be inside that cave mansion. Once the cave mansion is opened, if that technique is obtained, I can make the decision to present it directly to Lord Lin." Upon hearing this, Lin Jing hurriedly clasped his fists and said, "If that is the case, I would be deeply grateful to Lord Bai." The cultivation technique related to the 5 elements divine art is naturally the immortal 5 elements technique. To be cautious, Lin Jing did not reveal the existence of the immortal 5 elements technique. Then, Bai Yi looked at Lin Jing and continued, "You don't need to attend the upcoming conference for the Division of Regional Powers. I hear you've put a lot of effort into Liyan Island, both cultivating spirit plants and setting up Fong markets. As such, we will use Liyan Island as the core and designate a region for you. Furthermore, I've heard from Shui Yilin that you have a good relationship with Zhang Jian from Yuxing Island. The region I am designating for you will be centered on your Liyan Island, expanding outwards all the way to Yuxing Island. I will entrust you with the management of several islands within this area. What do you think?" Bai Yi spoke as if it was all settled, seemingly having investigated Lin Jing before his arrival. This method of division truly catered to Lin Jing's needs, so naturally, there were no issues, and Lin Jing had no objections. After hearing this, Lin Jing nodded and said, "If so, I would again be deeply grateful to Lord Bai." Bai Yi nodded slightly, then continued, "Within the region you govern, you may act as you wish. Should anyone dare to disobey or engage in any other anomalous acts, you may kill them directly without any hesitation." Upon hearing this, Lin Jing nodded. Subsequently, Lin Jing and Bai Yi spoke some more about the cave mansion. After the discussion, Lin Jing followed Shui Yilin out of Tian Hall. With this matter agreed upon, all that remained was for Li Mingwu to open that cave mansion. Afterwards, Lin Jing did not attend the Regional Power Division Conference held in Tian City, but instead bid farewell to Shui Yilin and left Tian Island. The region allocated to Lin Jing was already agreed upon, and all that followed was left to Shui Yilin's handling. Shui Yilin would take care of everything for Lin Jing. The Regional Power Division Conference concluded shortly after Lin Jing's departure. After its conclusion came a period of busyness. With the cooperation of 3 major islands, the deployment of formations was quite swift. In merely 2 months, the surveillance formation enveloping the entire 1,000 Islands domain was fully deployed. Though called a single formation, it was actually a combination of several formations, functioning as a whole, yet each controllable on its own. And in the heart of Liyan City, a towering spire reaching into the clouds had appeared. The core of the formation for this region was situated atop that tower. Once the formation deployment was complete, Shui Yilin also gave Lin Jing an array plate, specifically for controlling the formation in his region. After the formation had been set up, Lin Jing no longer paid attention to it and went back to his alchemy life. And so a year passed by. No news had come from Ming. However, another piece of news arrived relating to the Nanming domain. The 3 major sects of the Nanming domain had sought aid from the Western Demon region, asking for help in expelling the Howling Sky Wolf clan, which had been met with a response. Upon learning the specifics, the human forces of the Western Demon region decided to establish a large teleportation array capable of crossing domains between the Western Demon region and the Nanming domain. However, given the vast distance between the Western Demon region and the Nanming domain, the construction of this large teleportation array was not a simple task. Therefore, seeking the next best option, the human forces of the Western Demon region planned to establish 2 large teleportation arrays using Bead City as an intermediate station, connecting the Western Demon region to the Nanming domain. Lin Jing, do you know? If nothing unexpected happens, we should be able to return to the Nanming domain very soon. Li Qingqing had just received the news and was extremely happy, so she immediately ran to inform Lin Jing. Li Qingqing was clearly very concerned about matters pertaining to the Nanming domain. At that time, Lin Jing had just finished a period of seclusion and was unaware of what had happened. After hearing Li Qingqing's words, Lin Jing was also very puzzled and confused. Return to the Nanming domain? Has something happened? Lin Jing then asked Li Qingqing. Li Qingqing nodded and excitedly said, "The Qingyuan sword sect sent people to the Western Demon region for help, and there have been results. The sects in the Western Demon region are preparing to establish a teleportation array between the Nanming domain and the Western Demon region. This is to facilitate sending people to expel the Howling Sky Wolf clan from the Nanming domain. As long as the Howling Sky Wolf clan is expelled from the Nanming domain, then we can return." Returning to the Nanming domain had always been an obsession for Li Qingqing. Previously, Li Qingqing had expressed the desire to return to the Nanming domain several times during casual conversations with Lin Jing. First, to see how the Li family was doing. Second, to pay respects to Elder Master Li and the other Li family members who had died in battle. However, due to the Howling Sky Wolf clan's rampage throughout the Nanming domain, it was too dangerous, which had thwarted their plans. Now that she had received news of support from the Western Demon region for the Nanming domain, Li Qingqing was naturally very happy. Subsequently, Li Qingqing continued, "In this teleportation array being established, due to the great distance, we'll have an intermediary stop in Bead City. If we want to go back, we just need to go to Bead City and use the teleportation array to return." After speaking, Li Qingqing looked at Lin Jing and asked, "Lin Jing, are you planning to go back?" When Nanming domain was mentioned, Lin Jing immediately thought of Huang Qingling, Elder Yu, Elder Bai, and Zhang Yuan. They were all in Qingwang Palace, and he wondered how they were doing now. If possible, Lin Jing truly wanted to go back and see for himself. It's just that he didn't know whether he could set foot on Qingwang Peak again. Moreover, there were Senior Han and Ningyu. As a disciple of the Qingyuan sword sect, he supposed there should be no issue for him. As for Ningyu, that was unclear. He just hoped she was safe and sound. Thinking this, Lin Jing nodded and said, "If the Nanming domain is restored, I'll go back with you to take a look." Li Qingqing then spoke. "That's great. When the time comes, you, me, and my brother, we can all go back together." After speaking, Li Qingqing complained, "I don't know what's come over my brother recently. He hasn't visited in such a long time. The last time Lin Jing came out from the devouring spirit blood realm, he met with Li Tongyu. But that was their last meeting. From that time until now, Li Tongyu hadn't appeared again. Li Qingqing might be unaware, but Lin Jing knew. At this moment, Li Tongyu should be at the most critical moment, and by his calculations, should be undergoing tribulation to enter the nascent soul stage. Moreover, the conversation they had the last time they met, Lin Jing also did not tell Li Qingqing, because Li Tongyu had made a choice to take another path, and Li Qingqing would surely be heartbroken if she knew. For now, it's better to keep it from her. As the two were discussing, a sudden disturbance came. Lin Jing's eyebrows slightly furrowed, and he immediately extended his divine sense. Under the observation of his divine sense, Lin Jing saw that the tower used to monitor abnormal spiritual power fluctuations showed some changes. Then, Lin Jing said to Li Qingqing, "Qingqing, please wait for a moment. I'll go out and check." At this moment, Li Qingqing didn't know what had happened, but still nodded in response. All right. After that, Lin Jing immediately took a step and left the small courtyard. In just a few steps, Lin Jing arrived near the tall tower. At the top of the tower, the formation that usually remained concealed was now revealed, furiously in operation. This situation indicated that there was an anomaly in the energy fluctuations, and it was very possible that Li Mingwu had opened that cave dwelling. Continuing, Lin Jing quickly wiped his hand and took out a circular array plate from his space ring. Then, Lin Jing began to channel his spiritual power into the array plate. The array plate started to operate, resembling a star map with dozens of shining points interconnected by white silken threads. These dozens of shining points represented the islands within the territory under Lin Jing's jurisdiction, and the displayed map on the array plate was of the sea territory he governed. At this moment, on the array plate, aside from these shining points and white threads, there was no sign of any anomaly. Since the formations were connected, any disturbances in other areas would have been transmitted to Lin Jing as well. Right now, there were no signs of disturbance on Lin Jing's array plate, indicating that the anomaly had not occurred within the sea territory he controlled. Lin Jing then put away the array plate and looked towards the distant sea. If the disturbance was truly caused by Li Mingwu opening the cave dwelling, it probably wouldn't be long before news of it arrived. Facing the encirclement of 3 divinity transformation cultivators, Li Mingwu probably couldn't hold on for too long. If Li Mingwu were to escape, it likely wouldn't take long for Shui Yilin to come looking for him to get to work. For now, all Lin Jing had to do was wait. Afterward, Lin Jing returned to the courtyard. As soon as he arrived, Li Qingqing came to greet him and asked, "Brother Lin Jing, has something happened?" Lin Jing nodded and said, "There's been an incident, but don't worry, it's not connected to Liyan Island." "I see." Li Qingqing visibly relaxed. Then, Lin Jing continued to Li Qingqing, "Qing, I might have to leave for a few days. If there's anything happening on the island during these days, I'll have to trouble you. Also, yesterday Mother Yuqi mentioned that the stocks of pure accumulation pill at Liyan Elixir Pavilion are running low. You'll need to make some in these next few days." Li Qingqing quickly looked at Lin Jing with concern and said, "Are you in danger on this trip?" Lin Jing smiled and replied, "Don't worry, there's no danger this time. And this time it's just in the Thousand Islands domain, so I should be back very soon." Li Qingqing frowned with worry and said, "Last time was also in the Thousand Islands domain, and you were gone for 8 years. Lin Jing found himself at a loss for words. Originally, Lin Jing had thought the matter would be resolved quickly. However, several days passed before Shui Yilin finally arrived at Liyan Island, and no news had come before his arrival. As soon as Shui Yilin arrived, a puzzled Lin Jing asked him, "Fellow Taoist Shui, have you encountered any trouble?" Shui Yilin nodded and then said, "I won't lie to you, fellow Taoist Lin. Indeed, there was some trouble, which is why I'm late." Lin Jing nodded and asked, "What about Li Mingwu? Was it really him who opened that cave dwelling?" Shui Yilin nodded and said, "Yes, the cave dwelling has been opened." Lin Jing immediately asked, "Do you know where exactly that cave dwelling is?" Hearing Lin Jing's question, Shui Yilin's expression turned a bit strange. After a moment of silence, he finally spoke. Tian Island. Shui Yilin's answer astonished Lin Jing. Lin Jing's mouth twitched involuntarily, and after a long while, he finally said, "What a good place. To think that the cave dwelling would actually be on Tian Island." Lord Bai had occupied Tian Island for at least a few hundred years, yet even he had been unaware. However, Li Mingwu really was bold, daring to go to Tian Island alone to open that cave dwelling. Could it be that he wasn't afraid of being intercepted by Lord Bai, who might ally with Demon Lord and the true Dragon Island Master, and be kept here? Or perhaps, was there something of vital importance in the cave dwelling that he couldn't wait any longer? Moments later, Lin Jing spoke again, asking Shui Yilin, "What about Li Mingwu Daoist Shui? How is he?" Entering Tian Island, causing such a commotion, he must have alerted Lord Bai, and I suppose a great battle must have ensued between the two. Shui Yilin nodded, saying, "They did indeed fought a battle. However, with Li Mingwu's cultivation at the nascent Soul Peak, Lord Bai couldn't stop him, and before the Demon Lord and the true Dragon Island Master could arrive, he managed to escape." "Okay, Lin Daoyu, let's not discuss that now. The cave dwelling has already been opened, and fortunately, Li Mingwu has not yet succeeded. Now we need you to take action. Moreover, the three island masters are waiting as well." Lin Jing nodded, saying, "All right, in that case, let's go." As soon as Lin Jing finished speaking, Shui Yilin did not waste any words and immediately brought out his flying boat. Then, Lin Jing and Shui Yilin together boarded the flying boat and flew towards Tian Island. This time, perhaps because the three great island masters were present, Shui Yilin spoke very little along the way, piloting the flying boat with seriousness and at a significantly faster speed than before. In a bit more than an hour, the two arrived at Tian Island. Upon reaching Tian Island, Shui Yilin led Lin Jing directly to the entrance of the cave dwelling. When Lin Jing saw the entrance of the cave dwelling, he suddenly understood. No wonder Lord Bai had never discovered it. The entrance to the cave dwelling was deep in the northern mountain range of Tian Island, which was desolate and uninhabited, with only demonic beasts present. The entrance to the cave dwelling was right next to a demonic beast cave. Moreover, it was concealed by a hidden formation, so it was quite normal for it to go unnoticed. When Lin Jing arrived, several people were already there. In the forefront, three individuals stood, emitting an aura belonging to beings at the divinity transformation stage. One of them was none other than Bai. The other two, one was enveloped in surging demonic qi, his face hidden by the black demonic qi. Presumably, he was the Demon Lord. The other was an old man in white robes, with the appearance of a young child despite his snow-white hair. This elder seemed very ordinary, easy to overlook. Lin Jing, for instance, had forgotten the man's face almost immediately after glimpsing it. Among the three, it was this elder whose aura was the calmest and easiest to overlook. Conceivably, it was related to the cultivation technique he practiced. Upon seeing Lin Jing's arrival, a look of joy appeared on Bai Yi's face. Then he turned to the two beside him and said, "Gentlemen, this is the individual I mentioned to you." Upon hearing this, the two looked over at Lin Jing. At this moment, Lin Jing stepped forward, saluted with his hands clasped, and said to the three, "I have seen the three island masters." Their reactions varied. The Demon Lord merely grunted, and the old man nodded slightly. Only Bai Yi responded with a smile. "Good, good." After speaking, Bai Yi turned again to the Demon Lord and the old man, saying, "Now that everyone has arrived, let's explore the five elements cave mansion together." Both of them nodded. After that, Bai Yi made arrangements. The three divinity transformation cultivators would go in first, and after half a quarter of an hour, they would all enter together. Apart from the three divinity transformation stage island masters, there were 6 people in total, including Lin Jing, all nascent soul cultivators. Moreover, aside from Lin Jing and Shui Yilin, the other 4 were all array masters skilled in formations. The reason was that the mansion was filled with formations, and not just any formations, but high-level ones. A single misstep could trigger a formation, resulting in serious injury or even instantaneous disintegration. That's why they brought the four of them along. In fact, Lin Jing's role was very similar to theirs. Following that, the island masters of the three great islands were the first to enter the mansion via the teleportation array. At this time, Shui Yilin spoke up and transmitted his voice to Lin Jing. Lin Daoyu, be extra careful after you go in. The formations in there are anything but simple. Lin Jing gave a slight nod and transmitted back. Understood. Soon, half a quarter of an hour passed. Lin Jing and the others also stepped onto the teleportation array. As the white light from the array shone, they were immediately transported away. Inside the mansion, the spiritual energy was extremely dense. As soon as Lin Jing entered, he saw the lush greenery in front of him. These were spirit plants. At first glance, there seemed to be mostly second rank and third rank, but it was not difficult to spot a few fourth rank spirit plants among them. However, the fruits and flowers at the top of those fourth rank spirit plants had already been picked. The place they were transported to appeared to be a medicinal field planted by someone. At this time, the three island masters were still standing at the end of that field. In front of them was an impenetrable white fog. The three island masters were currently standing in front of that fog. Upon seeing the others arrive, Bai gestured to them. You guys come over here. Afterwards, Lin Jing and the others walked over. Once they did so, Bai directly said to them, follow us closely. Be careful not to get lost. They all nodded, then followed the three island masters into the white fog. Upon entering the fog, their visibility was reduced by the fog, so that they could not see anything beyond 2 meters in front of them. Lin Jing then extended his divine sense, only to find that it too was affected. With Lin Jing's divine sense, he could only extend at a maximum of 5 meters within the fog. It's worth noting that after Lin Jing's advancement to nascent soul, his divine sense had also greatly increased, directly breaking through from the early stage of nascent soul to the late stage. Now his divine sense could only reach out 5 meters in this fog. As for the others, needless to say, their range was likely even less. Perhaps only the range of the 3 divinity transformation stage island masters ahead was somewhat larger. Lin Jing and the others closely followed the island masters deeper into the fog. The deeper they walked, the denser the fog became. At this moment, Lin Jing's range of vision was left with only 1 meter. Even his divine sense was reduced to half its previous range. Just then, Lin Jing suddenly sensed a dangerous aura. Without hesitation, Lin Jing dodged to the side. Just as Lin Jing had swiftly moved, a white shadow passed by where he had been moments before. This white shadow flitted by, and before Lin Jing could see it clearly, it disappeared into the fog.